You're listening to Straight Outta Stratford 203 with Zach and Julie, the best sports podcast in Connecticut. Sit back and enjoy the ride. In 3, 2, 1.
Straight out of Stratford, slinging takes like Stafford, talking all the big games, have a beer right after. When it comes to the facts and the stats we provide, better know that our names will be up in the rafters.
What is going on, guys? Welcome back to the Straight Outta Stratford podcast, episode number 46. I am your host, Zach.
And I'm Julian. How we doing, guys?
And we are back on the air, ready to go for today. We got a lot of big news, especially when it comes to the NFL, which we will get to at one point. We're going to start out with a little small MLB talk just for a tiny bit. We're not even going to focus on the New York Mets at all. We're actually going to talk about something that just happened a couple of days ago. Aaron Judge is set to miss some time.
Yeah, I have my own thoughts about this, and I'm pretty sure you're curious to hear them.
Okay.
But before we talk about that, we can talk about what has happened to him.
Yeah.
He was diagnosed with a stress fracture on the first rub of his right side of his rib, and he will miss about 4 to 6 weeks. So they're saying he will miss 4 to 6 weeks.
Possibly more.
Can you let me now?
This
is where I'm gonna.
Just saying.
They're saying he's gonna miss 4 to 6 weeks, but we all know that doesn't mean anything when it comes to the Yankees, because as it started, per Aaron Boone, we're just monitoring something. He's having some soreness in his right shoulder. We're gonna keep him out a few days. Maybe he'll play for Boston. I'm not gonna play against Boston. But it's the June swoon, it happens every year. They get hurt in June, they play bad in August, and they play good in September, and then maybe they play well in October.
Maybe.
I simply can't get behind the fact that, because you look at Judge, and he started the season off very well. He put up 15, 16 home runs in, 2 or 3 weeks, maybe a month and a half, right?
A month and a half, probably.
And then you see him go on a 2 or 3 week stretch where he's not really hitting the ball to the caliber that Judge does. He's not doing what Judge usually does, and that's concerning. And then you see him hit a walk-off home run against the Rays. You go on the road, and he goes back to doing what he was doing for the previous 2 to 3 weeks. And that's not something Aaron Judge would do. And you're sitting there thinking, maybe it's a slump. Because Judge always has a 2 to 3 week slump where he goes and does subpar, and then he picks it back up. But now, since he's missing 4 to 6 weeks, you're like, oh, well, maybe that's the reason why he's playing the way he has. And if that is the reason why, if he has said this to Boone before the stretch of his slump, which we have no idea what he did or didn't, you're looking at Boone like, why are you still letting him play?
Yeah, I'm
because
surprised.
the key to your success this season relies solely based upon that man and that man himself.
Not even just this year. Other years as well. Aaron Judge is always one of the more important pieces to the New York Yankees. And it very rightfully so.
Now, since he's going to be out 4 to 6 weeks, if you're Brian Cashman, you have to, every prospect that we have that we don't plan on using in the near future has to get dealt at the deadline.
I agree.
To build up this team, because this may be the last year we have of a somewhat prime Aaron Judge. Because next year there's going to be no baseball.
Most likely. Supposedly with the CBA agreement not even being anywhere remotely close right now.
There's going to be no baseball next year. And what that will do is you're having Judge come back in 2028. You're not going to know what he's going to look like. Garrett Cole will probably be your number 5 man in the rotation, if that. Maybe he'll come out of the bullpen. Stanton's probably going to be done after this year.
Most likely, yeah.
You know what I saw that was pretty interesting? He can wind up being the most expensive player on the Marlins payroll this season.
Which is wild.
Because they still owe him $10 million.
That's insane.
But that's beside. We're not going to talk about that. But I saw that yesterday, and I was thinking to myself, like, it's been over like 10 years. How is he still the most expensive player on the roster? But that's besides the point.
Is it not working right?
No, it's working fine.
Yeah, it just seems a little bit low on my thing. So
You're my number what? 1 or 4?
Number 1.
No, you're
number 4.
number
4. Yeah.
Yeah.
Try turning it up a little bit. Hello. Okay.
Yeah. All right, fine.
It should be working fairly decent
Yes,
now.
now
it seems like it's low.
Yeah.
But
I don't know why it was that way, but
yeah, it was
you're looking at a team that's looks like they're finally figuring everything out, going all in, and the injury bug just hits them. Freed's has been out for a while. Cole comes back, he does well. You just saw Schlittler struggle for the first time this season, which hats off to him.
Yeah, he's been great other than just that one little bit of
and
a
then
rough outing.
You saw Garrett Cole struggle a little bit, but that's expected because he's coming off of Tommy John.
Of course.
They win yesterday at Rodon. They're playing Boston tonight with Weathers pitching. I'm hoping that the only bright spot out of this Judge going on the IL stint is that Goldschmidt will get more playing time.
Yeah, and Goldschmidt's definitely not a bad option. I know we've talked about him before and said that he is a veteran presence and he has a lot to offer. He's been great.
He has been bringing him back might have been the best signing of the offseason. The worst thing the Yankees did this entire offseason, and I'm saying this right now, is bring back Trent Grisham.
Well, for the amount of money that they brought him back for, yes.
I am saying this right now. I think they gave Grisham the qualifying offer, thinking that, hey, he just hit 30 home runs. Some other team's going to give him a boatload of money, and he's going to look at the qualifying offer and say, you know what, I'll go somewhere else.
Yeah, and he would take
and they would have gotten a compensation pick out of it. And what I think they should have done is they should have let Grisham sit in free agency, and if he wanted to come back, they could have got him for a lot cheaper than they did.
I agree.
And they should have offered the qualifying offer to Devin Williams, knowing damn well that he was going to sign somewhere else.
Yeah, I think that would have been smart.
And they could have gotten a compensation pick for Devin Williams when he went to the Mets, because there was no guarantee Grisham was going somewhere else.
No, I don't think many other teams would have really offered him, especially not the money that the Yankees offered.
Exactly. But Devin Williams is a guy that struggled a little bit in New York, but not everybody can perform well in New York.
No, you got to be cut from a different cloth to play in New York.
Yeah.
But
so that's the worst thing they did. So I think they either have to figure out what they're doing with Spencer Jones. They have to figure out whether or not they're going to actually use him or not.
Same with Dominguez. There are a couple guys.
Will Warren, I want them to actually, I'm saying this now, I want them to keep Will Warren.
Which is shocking because last year you were very avid against Will Warren.
Because he had like a 4.9 ERA.
But he's worked through it for sure. Here's what I will say about the Aaron Judge injury, though. I think a lot of fans were a little bit more freaked out at the sake of not just the injury itself, because
whether or not he would need surgery.
Well, it's that too, but
because if he did need surgery, he wouldn't be playing at all for the rest of the season.
But not just that. It's he goes and has a consultation with a consultation with Dr. Gregory Pearl.
Yep.
Now, Pearl specializes in thoracic thoracic outlet syndrome. So when you see players, especially ones that are fielders, go through something like that, that is potentially career ending.
Yeah.
Maybe not to the point where they retire right then and there, but it's something that it could damage the rest of their career and just they'll never come back to full strength.
It's like staying with the tennis elbow.
Yeah, and that's something that I feel like a lot of fans were even more concerned about, because when you hear, oh, you're going to see somebody who specializes in something so drastic, everyone panics and figures the worst, especially when it comes to New York media. We see that all the time. People love to freak out over stuff like that all the time. So I think that was more of a concern too, just because of what it actually does to their arm. Obviously, it limits the mobility and the range of motion that they have. It hurts the grip strength, all because your nerves are like compressing themselves and blood vessels are compressing in between your neck and armpit. So you're really not able to get that good throw off, and especially someone who fields like Aaron Judge does. I know a lot of people will look more at his hitting, but his arm and his defense is extremely good.
Yeah.
especially for someone his size. He moves fairly well, and obviously we know he's got a great arm. The guy's got a cannon, so if that affects what happens to the rest of his at least fielding career, it's not good for the Yankees going forward because that's your number one guy.
Now, looking at this, we've talked about this several times. Seeing that Judge could potentially be more of a liability now on the field, we were talking about this last season. We talked about it earlier this season. Is this the time where they sit down with Judge and say, hey, kind of like what the Phillies did with Bryce Harper, we got to look into moving you to first base?
It's possible. It's definitely possible. But it's not just going to affect his fielding, though, too. It's going to affect his hitting. Because the range of motion, you still got to move your arm when you're hitting the ball.
Well, yeah, but...
Which, that cannot happen. Now, granted, they found out that it's not that.
Yeah, it's not that, but since it's not the thoracics thing, right? I think they sit him down and say, hey, I know you don't want to do this, but we may look into moving you to first base because we know that you want to play the remainder of your contract out.
Yeah.
And we want to do what's best for you for your career, but they're the Yankees and they probably won't do that.
No, I doubt that they end up going through with something like that, although it may be the smarter of the decision. I just don't see it happening.
You've seen him take reps at first base before, and it's just
I don't know if it's the best option for them. I just don't. Because then you kind of limit yourself. Ben Rice may not see the field as much as he should.
Move Rice,
or unless you put him behind the plate the entire
time. You need another right-handed hitting catcher.
But that's what I'm saying is if you take everything into consideration.
Another thing, right?
It's not good.
I've seen that they're looking into trading for a catcher.
They need one.
They do need one, but the one that I do not want at all is Adley Rutschman. I don't want him.
I don't know if they would trade him to a division opponent.
Joel Sherman, no, John Heyman or Joel Sherman or whatever his name is, said that the Yankees are the favorites to acquire. He said that their number one target at catcher to acquire would be Adley Rutschman. And I'm sitting there thinking to myself, like, why? You have better options on the trade market. You got Ryan Jeffers. You got Hunter Goodman.
I think it's the level of upside.
If they get Hunter Goodman's great.
Listen, Adley Rutschman's still young. He's still fairly very talented.
Yes, but he's a free agent after this season is done. If you go look at a guy in Ryan Jeffers, he might be a free agent, but if they're looking to get a right-handed catcher with power, you go get Hunter Goodman, who still has maybe 1 or 2 more years left on his contract.
No, I could definitely see it, no doubt. Like I said, they're definitely in need of a catcher. You're not going to move Ben Rice to catcher because that's going to end up shortening his career, which you do not want.
No,
he's the
Ben
wear and tear
Rice
on his
is
knees.
a stud.
He is. So I don't know. I don't know what direction they go from there, but thank God at least Aaron Judge avoided something way more serious. I'm assuming that after the 4 to 6 weeks, they'll probably image everything out and he should be okay.
Well, the only thing I could look forward to now is Max Fried coming back and whatnot, because I heard I think it was Manny Ramirez saying this, or not Manny Ramirez, or who's the starter I'm thinking of that played for Boston? Pedro Martinez. Yeah, Pedro Martinez.
Yeah, I know he does a lot of analytics.
He said that if Max Fried comes back and Garrett Cole can stay dominant, the Yankees' rotation would be like Maddox and who's the other guy for the
Maddox
Braves?
and Glavine?
No,
for the Braves?
For the Braves in like 98, Maddox and Glavine.
Or Maddox and Smoltz or whoever it was.
Yeah.
There were a lot of good pitchers on that team. So
yeah,
but
he said the Yankees would probably have the best rotation in the league.
They would. They would definitely be considered in that conversation.
And I also saw yesterday that if the Tigers make Skubal available, the Yankees would ask the asking price. And I remember they did that last year, and one of the names that was in the trade was Ben Rice.
He ain't going to be in the trade now.
No.
But that's the thing is Skubal, obviously his upside is huge. But
his upside is huge, but if I am Brian Cashman, do not engage in the trade for Tariq Skubal, only because you'll be giving up way too much, and you would not be able to re-sign him, knowing that his agent is Scott Boras. And you know my opinion on Scott Boras. You know Zach's opinion on Scott Boras. Stay away.
Yeah, no, it's not worth it. But we'll just kind of get off the MLB talk. We're going to head over to a little bit of some NFL stuff. Just 2 quick signings before we get into the really big stuff that happened this past week, which obviously I want to get to. Drake London and the Falcons agreed to a 4-year, $141 million extension. That was proceeded to be followed up by the Packers giving a 4-year, $110.5 million extension to wide receiver Christian Watson.
You didn't put my news on the thing for the NFL.
What'd I do?
You went. You.
Regardless, now here comes the big one. On June 1st, the Los Angeles Rams acquired the 2-time Defensive Player of the Year, Myles Garrett from the Cleveland Browns, in exchange for Jared Verse, a 2027 first-round pick, a 2029 third-round pick, and a 2028 second-round pick. So, I am over the moon about this.
So, essentially, they got Myles Garrett for Jared Verse, 2 seconds, and a third.
Basically. Because that first-round pick is going to most likely be pick number 32.
Yeah.
Or very good chance of that happening. I am...
32 or 31?
Most likely. I am absolutely thrilled by this. Obviously, as a Rams fan, you should be thrilled by this. I mean, you'd be crazy not to. It does suck losing Jared Verse. I thought when I heard all of the negotiations going on that Verse would most likely not be the piece to be moved. But looking back at it, I'm very thankful for what Jared Verse did for the Rams organization. I loved his attitude. I loved his effort. I loved the tenacity that he brings. I know a lot of the guys in the locker room loved having him as a part of this team. He invigorated the young side of the defense and brought them a completely different play style from what they had originally seen under the years where Aaron Donald was present in the organization. So, again, best of luck to Jared Verse in Cleveland. But that being said, I texted you immediately when that happened.
No, I texted you.
No, but what I'm saying is you texted me, and I texted you back, and word for word I said, it sucks to lose Jared Verse, but I think it's fair to say that Myles Garrett is an massive upgrade over Jared.
Yeah, the only thing I'm going to say about this is because it's your team. Myles Garrett is a big upgrade, but the only thing that sucks is that Myles Garrett's, 30 years
31.
old? 31? Yeah. Jared Verse is on the younger side.
Yeah.
And his upside is there. Myles Garrett, I'm not saying he's going to suck for the Rams because he's not.
Clearly not.
Myles Garrett probably only has maybe 4 or 5 years left on his career.
Most likely. Well, Calais Campbell's 39 and still playing, so it's possible.
But it depends on how Myles Garrett wants to end his career off.
It does.
Yeah.
It does. But I think, obviously, overall, you look at it, the 31-year-old that just set the NFL record for most sacks in a single season and won his second Defensive Player of the Year unanimously is huge.
No, I know.
It puts them in win-now mode.
I know. It does put them in win-now mode. And I don't know. Maybe Jared Verse going to Cleveland is good for his development.
It is, and a lot of people don't realize this either, but this is something that for anyone who doesn't realize now, the Cleveland Browns have back-to-back Defensive Rookies of the Year on their defense now. You have Jared Verse, who won it in 2024, and then Carson Schwarzenegger, who won it last year.
Now, what I'm going to say right here is a lot of people are saying that the Rams won the trade and it was a highway robbery, but a lot of people don't realize how good Jared Verse actually is.
Well,
and I think
good.
I think people are thinking Jared Verse won defensive. He didn't have a lot of sacks last. It doesn't matter that he I saw a lot of clips yesterday of Verse not getting sacks, but getting QB pressures, which allow Braden Fisk or Byron Young to go out and actually get the quarterback.
Yeah, no doubt, and
he's
sure.
He's a good he's linebacker that's gonna or edge rusher that's gonna create the double team, which probably will allow Schwarzenegger to go. Or Mason Graham. They have Mason Graham, too. Mason Graham might get to this quarterback a little more this year.
Their defense is built really young.
The last thing I'm going to say is Aaron Donald, please stay in retirement.
Now since the Rams fan is in the building, I'm going to say this right now, okay? And this is going off. I'll touch a little bit more with Jared Verse here.
Now, hold on. Before you say anything about Aaron Donald, last week, I suggested, I said, hey, do you think they might see if Aaron Donald might want to come out of retirement? And Zach was like, nope, there's no way. Nothing that could happen could pull this man out of retirement. And look at this guy now. Look at him now. I knew.
I was wrong there. I'll take that.
I knew that something might happen or something could happen, and Aaron Donald might just say, you know what? He might go full Kevin Durant mode. I'm not. First of all, I'm not saying Aaron Donald's a snake. He's not a snake.
Far from it. He'll kill you.
Very far from it. Nowhere near a snake. But Aaron Donald might say, you know what? I like one ring, but what's one ring have on two rings? And he might come out of retirement midseason or maybe for the playoffs, make a run. And the thing with that, right, is even if Aaron Donald comes back and he isn't the same Aaron Donald he was when he retired,
he doesn't need to be.
He could still wind up being an all-pro player for the NFL because you look at it, right? If he came out of retirement before they got Myles Garrett, you could say, oh, teams can still double-team Aaron Donald and he won't be as dominant. But now you say, hey, if teams try and double-team Aaron Donald, Myles Garrett's got a free run at the quarterback.
They're going to be bringing out 7 offensive linemen. Forget the tight ends. It's just going to be linemen.
Yeah. If Aaron Donald comes out of retirement, that may be the greatest defensive line of all time.
No. It will be the greatest defensive line of all time. And here's where I will go with this now.
And it's pretty ironic because a day before the trade went out, on May 31st.
I know he posted a workout.
He posted a workout video, and he goes, and the name of the song was "I'm Ready."
Well,
no, the name of the song was "Not Done Yet."
Well, and the other thing is, for people that are saying, "Oh, well, he posted #ready on his thing." A lot of people don't realize he has a protein brand that's called Ready.
Yeah.
So it's not just necessarily him hinting at making a return. It's genuinely that his company's name that he works with is called Ready Protein. So again, don't get it misconstrued.
Yeah, I'm not gonna misconstrued, but that Rams helmet on his mantle is talking to him like the mascot of the Green Goblin mascot of Spider-Man right now.
Here we go. Now is my time to just touch on this. Okay. Again, going off of Jared Verse, there's a friend of mine who is a Rams fan that I talk with a decent amount. I even gave him a fair warning last year. I said to him, listen, I love Jared Verse a lot, but my one thing with Jared Verse is his bag of rush moves is very limited. I thought it was something that he was going to focus on during the offseason, make him more versatile in his pass rush. The one thing he does is the bull rush. That's it. Against good offensive lines, that does nothing. Nothing. Against guys like Lane Johnson or Penei Sewell and some of these other guys, it's not going to work. It's not. Now, Jared Verse is strong enough for it to work sometimes and get pressures. He's good enough to do that. He is not Myles Garrett. Myles Garrett can beat you in any way possible. He could run straight at you. He could run around you. He could fake you out. He could do the chop, the swim move.
Aaron Donald could put you on your ass.
But that going into that, if
I meant
you
by Aaron Donald, I meant Myles Garrett could put you on your ass.
Yeah, Myles Garrett can basically do anything. Then you add potentially Aaron Donald to this defensive line. Here is what I will say. That would be the greatest defensive line ever assembled in the NFL. Better than the Steel Curtain, better than the Fearsome Foursome, better than all those other lines that you've seen, because you would have 2 of the possibly greatest at their position defensive players ever side by side. That would be absolutely nuts.
Not only would you have an Aaron Donald-esque Aaron Donald player, but you're having a guy that modeled his game after Aaron Donald and Myles Garrett.
Yeah, and on top of the fact that we knew that Aaron Donald was...
It's like you're having an Aaron Donald on the right edge of the line and an Aaron Donald on the left edge of the line.
Well, not even that. Right up the middle, because Aaron Donald's going to be coming from the middle. Their defensive line, if Donald comes back, consists of Byron Young, Braden Fisk, Poona Ford, Kobe Turner, Myles Garrett, and Aaron Donald.
I always laugh at Poona Ford's name.
Poona Ford is a monster.
Poona Ford.
He was one of the high. I think they said that he was based off PFF, he was the highest rated nose tackle in the NFL last year. and you add Myles Garrett and Aaron Donald next to him, Fisk, Turner, and Byron Young, good luck stopping that defense.
You're not.
On top of the fact that they just added Trent McDuffie a couple weeks ago.
The Rams might have the best defense in the league now.
Yeah, especially if Donald comes back, they will have the best defense in the league.
Not only Trent McDuffie, Justin Watson.
Jalen Watson.
There was
Justin Watson's the tight end. Jalen Watson's the...
No, Justin Watson was the receiver, not tight end.
Well, he was the tight end / receiver. Regardless. But still, this Rams team has the potential. They were already Super Bowl favorites. You add Aaron Donald back, good Lord, somebody save the NFL because hell will be to pay.
Yeah.
I mean, as a Rams fan, I'm thrilled, man. I can't wait. That's why I wore the Donald jersey today. I'm asking you, Aaron, please. And more importantly, Erica Donald, his wife, please let Aaron come out and play one more season. I beg of you.
And Aaron, I'm asking you real quick, do me a favor and listen to Cooper Kupp.
No. Cooper Kupp had to come out and say, please, Aaron, stay in retirement.
Listen to Cooper Kupp.
No. Go get yourself that second ring, brother.
Listen
I'm
to
here
Cooper
for
Kupp.
you. I'm here for you. Go get that second ring.
Listen to Cooper Kupp.
Well, on top of other big trades other than the Aaron Donald, Myles Garrett trade, you also see a trade.
This isn't a big trade. It's
well,
not. Well, hold on a second.
It was a big trade, but it's just that it was so talked about for years and years.
Not even years. It was just we knew it was going to happen.
Everyone saw it coming, and that's A.J. Brown getting traded to the New England Patriots.
To play with the schedule merchant?
Yeah, to play with Drake, the schedule May. No disrespect. Drake May still played fantastic last year. You got to give your flowers where flowers are
Yeah, but the best opponent they played was Seattle.
And then they got smoked. But, yeah, you end up
They would have lost to Denver if Bo Nix played.
They would have lost to any of the 4 teams that were remaining, or other 3 teams that were remaining. If Denver was healthy.
They could have beat Buffalo.
No.
Yeah,
they did during the regular season. I don't know. But no. That's not. I'm not saying the AFC. I'm saying if it was the Broncos, the Rams, or the Seahawks, and they were all fully healthy, they would have lost to any of those 3 teams. They were not beating any of them. But yeah, A.J. Brown gets dealt from Philadelphia to New England for a 2028 first-round pick and a 2027 fifth-round pick. I mean, again, everybody saw this trade really coming. They knew.
What happened? What the most surprising part about it is that the Patriots gave up a first-round pick.
I know. A lot of people were upset at that because, you see other players, especially A.J. Brown, who's starting to, for at least a receiver, reach the end of his prime. It's definitely not great. I'm kind of surprised that they got a first-round pick for him, especially on top of the 5th-round pick that they got. A little shocking.
What I think happened is Vrabel was like, you know what? I want my guy back. And Vrabel was like, what's the asking price? Howie Roseman was like 1st and a 5th. And Vrabel tried to negotiate, and it just couldn't happen. He was like, you know what? We don't got Diggs anymore. We don't got whatever.
Well, they bring in Romeo Doubs.
But
I know that Kayshon Bouttie's still there. They got other weapons. I'm just like sitting there thinking like it was pretty obvious. If there was one team he was going to go to, it was going to be the Patriots. Well, and supposedly the Rams were in on him as well up until they got medical reports back on him. I guess they had him take a physical and said that they didn't like what they saw from the physical, which is why they moved off of the trade.
Yeah, but they didn't need A.J. Brown.
Oh, no, they didn't need him, but it would have probably been like Devontae Adams and a late pick for A.J. Brown. And to be honest with you...
Yeah, but Devontae Adams is... I'd take Devontae Adams over A.J. Brown every day of the week.
I would too, but here's my thing. A.J. Brown is younger, so I could see why they were interested in doing it, but he is a diva.
Yeah, but I was about to say, if A.J. Brown went to the Rams, Puka Nacua wouldn't have gotten the production he got last year.
Well, no, or Puka would have gotten the production, and A.J. Brown would have been complaining and reading books on the sideline.
It would have been a whole... If A.J. Brown went to the Rams, they would not be favorites right now.
No. And I'm kind of glad that we did not trade for him, and we decided to pursue a guy like Myles Garrett instead. I like that a lot better, to be completely honest.
And now...
But Everyone did see it coming. I saw a lot of very split opinions on it, though. I saw a lot of Eagles fans happy. I saw a lot of Eagles fans upset. They were kind of split right in the middle. Yep. And then same thing with New England fans. I saw a lot of New England fans say, "Yay, we got our new wide receiver one," and then a lot of them saying we gave up too much. He's older than 30 now. This is not a good trade for us. We need to try and get younger and build for the future. We were so close last season, but now we just need youth to continue to build. So now, there's a lot of mixed opinions with it.
Before we talk about the Stanley Cup, one more thing I want to talk about.
Oh, yeah.
You did not put this on the paper.
Well, it's because, dude.
It's not
as big of a deal for everybody else except for the Giants. No offense. It is. It's the way it is. I'm happy for you.
Well, it's not a big deal for everybody but the Giants. There's like a lot of fans around the league that are just like.
It's nostalgic.
Exactly.
That's what it is. It's nostalgic.
You see the Giants go out and sign Odell Beckham Jr. That's why I'm wearing my shirt. Like
even though Jalen Hyatt did not give him number 13, he's wearing number 3 at the OTAs right now.
Well, Hyatt's gonna get cut.
You would hope. They had the opportunity to cut him already.
Beckham can't wear 3. Abdul Carter's number 3.
Oh, forget Abdul Carter.
No, but
I think. Listen,
is it like in the NFL? Is it like college where you can have one on offense, one on? No, it's not.
No.
So
they were saying it the other day that you can't do that because Jared Verse is wearing number 8. And Jared Verse was
asked if he paid Dylan Gabriel for number 8, and he goes, "Who's that?"
All I know is he did not look happy. But anyways, yes. The only reason why I didn't put it, no offense, is Odell really has not been the Odell, especially not the New York Giants Odell, or even the Odell you saw from him with the Rams.
No, but it's just nostalgic. I mean,
again, I'm happy for the Giant fans. They got their guy back. I know everyone was kind of pumped, especially
now,
the Scarlatta twins.
What I think this means is that this is his last year in the league.
Most likely, yeah.
Because OBJ said he wants to end his career with the Giants. This is it. I'm hoping maybe you catch lightning in a bottle. And if we do catch lightning in a bottle, that'd be amazing. I mean, I wanted Odell to come back for forever.
You probably never wanted him to leave in the first place.
No, I didn't. Got us Dexter Lawrence, and he's not even here anymore, so... But I'm just happy, like, in a way that Odell is back with the Giants, and I've seen he's not moving the same. But week 1, if he scores against Dallas week 1, now you know how nostalgic that would feel,
especially if he does the one-handed.
Yeah, I was about to say it's a primetime game, Sunday Night Football. If he does that again, which he probably won't, but if he does,
hell no.
If there is a way that happens again,
turn back the clock.
Turn back the clock for one. If he does that the first game of the season and then gets hurt, and he somehow recreates the OBJ one-handed catch, I would be satisfied. If we see him play one game, make one catch, and it be the one-handed over, like if that's the only catch he makes throughout the season, I would be satisfied.
Yeah.
Like, I saw a picture of him the other day with making a one-handed catch wearing the number, and just brought back so many memories of me. Because, like, I was a child when OBJ was on the Giants. I was in elementary school, middle school.
Which is crazy to think.
Exactly.
That's because I was not. I was not.
And now I'm in college. And he's bad. I feel like a little kid again. I feel happy. Like I'm just like so happy. I didn't think it was actually gonna happen.
I kind of had a feeling. They've been hinting at it.
They've been hinting at it for months. But I saw them go out and sign Braxton Berrios first.
Yeah, but again, that was done because in the first day of OTAs, Gunnar Olszewski tore his Achilles or his ACL or whatever
that was. Yeah.
So.
And then, I'm like, oh, but
that's why they did that.
Yeah.
But then going out and signing
Boo Boo Schuster.
Yeah, Juju Smith-Schuster.
Boo Boo Schuster.
Okay, you can say that, but for professionalism, it's Juju Smith-Schuster. And then they also went out and signed one other person as well. Who was it?
No, they signed 3 receivers.
Oh yeah, it was Berrios, Smith-Schuster, and Odell. Okay.
But
they added Calvin Austin and Mooney months ago.
Oh yeah, but I'm just happy that he's back on the Giants, and like, you know, it's just nostalgia.
No, it is nostalgia to the highest. It should be interesting.
Not even if he makes a one-handed catch. Like the first, like if he even catches like a 20-yard slant and takes that to the house, like.
Not even that. If he catches a pass, period, in the first game, they're going to be going bananas.
If he scores a touchdown.
Oh, if he scores a touchdown, they're going nuts.
Yeah. I just can't wait to see. My only hope is that when he scores his first touchdown back at MetLife, he has to. I mean, this has to be a required thing. Is he has to do the celly. He has to do the whip. If he does any celebration aside from that, if I see him score and then I see him on TV, or I might be going to week 1. If I see him do the whip, I would go nuts.
I mean, it makes sense. It definitely makes sense as to how you would
Another
react.
thing that's not talked about is his emote wheel after a touchdown is, like, insane.
I know it is. It's Madden's worst nightmare because they don't know how many celebrations to give the damn guy.
No, Odell. If you go and look at it, right?
The moonwalk.
The moonwalk.
The Rams. He did
the self
revive, which was crazy.
He did the Allen Iverson step over. What else did he do? He did the Ray Lewis. He did the long jump.
He's done everything.
He's done a lot.
He's done basically. He's
done the Michael Jackson dance.
He's the Fortnite shop of emotes.
Yeah,
in the NFL.
My favorite clip is when he was traded to Cleveland. He goes, "Oh, I'm a dog, so I just acted like a dog." You ever hear him say that?
Oh well, he also did that celebration too, where he acted like he was peeing on the fire hydrant.
He goes, "People say I'm a dog, so I just acted like a dog."
I'm telling you, that's going to be wild to have him back there.
I just think it's like great for, I feel
great
like,
for viewership.
I feel like a kid again, you know.
Of course, no, it makes sense. It brings me back.
I need to get a jersey because I outgrew my jersey.
Well,
it don't fit me anymore.
Well, now both of us could feel like we're going a little bit more nostalgic, especially if Aaron Donald comes back too. But we will go into the NHL real quick. Not really going to touch on all too much because the series is still far from over. We did see the series start out 1-0 after Vegas took home a win in Game 1 on the road in Carolina. Nikolai Ehlers came out and scored 2 goals in the first period, making it 2-0 for Carolina. Fairly early, Vegas would battle back. They had a goal from Shea Theodore. Wasn't it 2-1.
Game 1 like insane?
Game 1 was nuts.
They scored like within the first 25 seconds of each period, right?
Correct. Well, no. So yeah, Carolina scored 25 seconds into the game off of a Nikolai Ehlers goal. Ehlers would score his second in the first period. Before the end of the first, you saw Shea Theodore make it a 2-1 game, especially after he was one of the main reasons why the first goal was scored. He got beat, and then they caused an odd man rush early in the game. Then you see Vegas tied the score up early into the second period, about 35 seconds in, from Ivan Barbashev. William Karlsson then makes it 3-2, scoring from the slot, giving Vegas the lead. Jordan Staal would end up tying the game at 3 in the third period. Then Vegas would end up making it 4-3 from Brett Howden, a guy, former Ranger, who's been absolutely tearing it up during the playoffs so far. Shane Gostisbehere for Carolina ends up tying it, makes it 4-4, but Vegas would score the game-winning goal with just under 4 minutes left to play in that first game from Tomas Hertl. He makes it 5-4. Vegas ends up winning. That game was bonkers, back-and-forth action. It's the NHL playoffs. You're expected to see crazy stuff like that, and especially in the Stanley Cup. These dudes are crazy. And then Game 2 last night, again, Carolina wins in overtime 4-3. Vegas comes out and scores 2 goals from Brett Howden. He's got 13 goals in the playoffs so far. Absolutely nuts. He only had 8 during the regular season. He's got 13 in the playoffs. Then he buries his second of the night, gives them a 2-0 lead. Carolina ends up getting a little bit of momentum after a disallowed goal and an unsuccessful challenge from Vegas. The momentum completely shifts. Carolina comes out and they score 3 goals in 6 minutes. You see Logan Stankoven score a goal for them. He continues his hot playoff run that he's had. Then you see Mark Jankowski tie the game up at 2, and then Captain Jordan Staal once again scores on a deflection, gives them a late lead on the power play. Just over 4 minutes left to play. Then Vegas gets a power play. They don't score. up until the power play completely ends and Mark Stone, their captain, buries one with just over a minute left to play, makes it a 3-3 game, but then in overtime does not take very long. A penalty from Tomas Hertl sends Carolina to the power play. Carolina comes out on the power play, and Seth Jarvis unleashes an absolute rocket top cheese to win the game 4-3,
Yeah.
even the series 1-1 before they have a couple days rest, and then they travel to Vegas.
I think if Vegas does somehow win, this may be the greatest postseason run in the NHL.
I
mean,
wouldn't say that.
No,
It
not the greatest postseason run, but like looking at it, like if you're looking at the Stanley Cup playoffs a week before the season is supposed to end, I don't think a single person would have guessed that Vegas would be in the Stanley Cup
Well,
Finals.
a lot of people were still very upset at the fact that if you look, it's all based off of the point system where, overtime losses get you a point, and then wins get you 2, losses obviously get you 0, but if you lose in overtime, you get 1. Vegas only had 39 wins on the year. They went to overtime a ton and lost. But they had less wins than a whole bunch of teams in both the Eastern and Western Conference.
And
those teams didn't even make the playoffs. And they did. And now they find themselves, they beat
3 games away from
they are in the Stanley Cup final. They swept the President's Trophy winners in Colorado 4-0. Nobody saw this coming. But again, John Tortorella proved a lot of people that he still got it as a head coach. A lot of the guys that they're starting to get back, I know the Golden Misfits are really kicking it off right now. Between Shea Theodore, Mark Stone, William Karlsson, those guys have been awesome for them. And then you also got guys like Jack Eichel and Mitch Marner who have been crazy. Carter Hart's been awesome in goal. Obviously, last night, not his best night. Same thing with Game 1, but he was a big reason why they swept Colorado. It's just been a nutty series. To think that Vegas is in the spot they're in is absurd to me. Absurd.
Speaking of great playoff runs, we're gonna go to the meat and
the meat and potatoes.
Meat and potatoes.
Meat and potatoes. And that is
the New York Knicks.
the New York basketball Knicks.
Okay, I thought you were gonna say the other name.
No. It's they said the New York Football Giants.
Yeah.
Well, that's getting taken over. They are the New York basketball Knicks. And for any of you people, and this same, actually, you know what? Before I say this, the same guy that I was talking about with the Rams, right? I told you he's a good friend of mine. He's a Rams fan, and I was talking with him. He's also not rooting for the Knicks right now. He's a Miami Heat fan. But I'm going to have to bust his chops, and I'm going to tell him to watch this episode because I'm going to call him out right now. He texted me before the game because I posted an Instagram story, and I say, 4 more wins for the New York Knicks. 4 more. And he sends a laughing face emoji. And I say, what's funny? And he's telling me San Antonio's the way better team. The Knicks had an easy run to the finals. They haven't really played anybody. They're going to have no answer for Victor Wembanyama. The team's young, and their experience may not be there, but they're a lot better than people are thinking. They're going to handle the Knicks no problem. And I say to him, they do have an answer for Wembanyama. It goes by the name of Karl Anthony Towns, Mitch Robinson, and OG Anunoby. All 3 of those guys can play physical. Hold on. I'm almost done. Don't worry. He says to me, it continues to laugh about it and says, we'll see. The Knicks go down 7 at the half in Game 1. DMs me on Instagram, how we feeling with the eye emotes. And all I said is, they're shooting like crap, and they're still in the game. They're going to make adjustments. Mike Brown is there for that reason. Game is far from over. We're in the first game of the series, and we're not even the full way through yet. The Knicks end up winning the game by 10 points. What do you think I said back? The exact same thing. How are you feeling with those eye emotes? These people keep doubting the Knicks. This Knicks team is different.
Here's what I'm going to say, right? First series, they lost to Atlanta. And people are saying, oh, they lost to Atlanta. Atlanta's not that great. They're done. They didn't lose by 10, 15 points. They lost to Atlanta on 2 CJ McCollum game winners.
On top, by 1 point.
By 1 point.
In both games, they lost by
1 point.
1.
It's not like they lost by 3 or 5 or 10.
No.
They lost by 1 point on a game winner.
Twice.
Some could say those 2 shots were lucky. They could be on a 14-0 run. They could be.
They could be undefeated right now.
That's exactly what I'm saying. They could be undefeated right now.
But another thing is, not only do they lose to Atlanta those 2 games in a row, then they proceed to win 12 games in a row, and they've won, I forget what it is, how many games. They've won by double digits.
A lot.
Majority of them.
All of them.
No. They beat the Sixers by 6 in one game.
Okay, well, yeah.
I think it's 11 out of the 12 they won by double digits.
But, right? You see the Sixers, you're like, oh, they're playing the Sixers, right? The great team. The Sixers took the Celtics to 7. People are saying that the Sixers were gassed. There was no way that the Knicks could beat them.
They came back from 3-1
against the Celtics, who had Jason Tatum, who had Jaylen Brown, right? The Sixers, they're saying the Knicks had an easy run. The Sixers came back down 3-1 against the Celtics.
Once you finish this, I got something I'm going to say too about that.
And people are saying, oh, yeah, they came back 3-1 against the Celtics. The Sixers are an elite team. They're great. They're going to sweep the Knicks. Then the Knicks go out in 4 games, and they mop the floor with them. And then you know what people say about the Sixers?
Oh, the Sixers are trash.
They were saying there was no way the Sixers had a shot at beating the Knicks.
Oh, Joel Embiid was banged up.
Joel Embiid was banged up. The Knicks only won because they came off a 7-game series. That is not true.
Well, and then on top of that, they also said the same thing about Cleveland. Oh, Cleveland just beat the Detroit Pistons in 7 games. They're no joke. They're going to handle the Knicks no problem. And then the Knicks smoke them.
I got something funny to say, right? I've been seeing all week on Instagram that Donovan Mitchell was at the Don Toliver concert in Hartford. And you know what? Every post I see, I wanted to type in the comments, D. Mitch was only there because he didn't have to practice for the NBA Finals.
Yeah, but here's where...
Because people were saying, oh my God, Donovan Mitchell's in Connecticut.
Who cares?
Who cares that he's in Connecticut? He's from New York, yes, right? But the only reason he was there is because he didn't have to be in Cleveland to practice for the NBA Finals. Because the Knicks took out the broom and were like, sweet.
Whoop. But here's where I'll go with this too, because you were kind of hinting at it, and I'm going to go even further. Everybody made the excuse, whatever series it was, oh, well, the Sixers weren't that great. Atlanta shouldn't have made the playoffs. Oh, well, Cleveland's trash and all that. No.
You know what I'm going to say about that?
Well, hold on. Or, well, you know what? You go first, because I'm going to rant about this.
Everybody is better than Jalen Brunson until they have to play Jalen Brunson.
Thank you. But this is where I'll go. We'll start with the Atlanta series. Oh, Atlanta should have never made the playoffs. Atlanta finished with one of the best records after the trade deadline and made the playoffs as the 8 seed. So, obviously, they were not a bad team. They were the only team to beat the Knicks during the playoffs so far. That's not a bad team. Again, then we go to the 76ers. The 76ers trail the Celtics 3-1, come back and beat them in 7 games. And everyone was saying, oh, the Sixers team is pretty damn good. Then they lose to the Knicks in 4 games and get their butts kicked, and everyone goes, oh, the Sixers are trash. The Knicks had an easy walk. Then, again, Cleveland. Cleveland beats the number 1 seed Detroit Pistons. Knocks them out. And everyone goes, oh, Cleveland's going to handle the Knicks no problem. The Knicks sweep them. Oh, Cleveland's trash. They're garbage. They will of these excuses for the Knicks. However,
they won't make the excuse for the Spurs.
They won't make the How about the fact the San Antonio Spurs played Portland in the first round? Portland
made the playoffs?
Yes. They played Portland in the first round and swept them. Then they go and play against Minnesota.
A banged up Minnesota.
With Anthony Edwards on basically a torn meniscus and Dante DiVincenzo with a torn Achilles out after game 1. And they still won, I believe, 6 games. Then they go up against the defending champ OKC Thunder. Now, granted, the Thunder are good. But they're down 2 starters.
Jalen Williams.
And AJ Mitchell. But yet, the Spurs had a really tough run. Baloney. Okay? This is all garbage. Everyone wants to make the excuse for the Spurs. Everyone wants to make that excuse.
Wemby deserves to be here. He played well. He earned it. No. You look at the thing I'm going to say about this, right? If you go and watch how both teams celebrated after they found out they were going to the NBA Finals, the Knicks were like, all right, job's not over. The Spurs celebrated like they just won the championship.
Yeah, I know. Victor Wembanyama was crying, which, I mean, he could still be happy for it. It's not a judgment of that, but I get what you're saying.
But what I'm saying is that not only are they making excuses for the Celtics, they're saying the Knicks...
The Celtics?
No, not Celtics. The Spurs.
The Spurs, I was about to say.
They're saying the Knicks had an easy run through the playoffs. People forget that Game 1 of the Eastern Conference Finals, the Knicks were down by 22 with 7.5 minutes left in the game. And they won by like 13.
Yeah. I'm even actually going to make another comment too, which is a little bit different, but this is another thing, kind of going off the whole Spurs. Everyone said that the West was going to find a way to win because they were too strong, that the Knicks would not be able to handle it. But I'm going to go a step further. Nobody would even be talking about the West right now, or specifically the champs who came out of the West last year, the Thunder. Had the Pacers won, if Halliburton hadn't torn his Achilles in Game 7, the Pacers probably win, and nobody would even be talking about the Thunder. They'd be saying how good the East is. Oh, the East is so strong. The Pacers are the defending champs. The Thunder wouldn't even be defending champs.
And the Knicks would be the tops to all. They're on a historic playoff run.
Everything would change if the Thunder. If it all stems from Halliburton tearing his Achilles. If Halliburton does not tear his Achilles, and they win the NBA championship last year,
that's another excuse.
Everything is thrown out the window.
That's another excuse this year. They're saying, "Oh, the Knicks didn't have to face the Pacers in the playoffs."
I know, but that is the whole. Ever since Halliburton tore his Achilles, and then the Knicks go on this crazy run throughout the year, and especially most obviously the playoff, nobody would be talking about the West. They would be saying, "Oh, the Pacers are the defending champs," and then you know what? They're at the bottom of the barrel. It's the Knicks' championship to win. If they could find a way to come out of the East, the West can't hang. But all because Halliburton tore his Achilles in Game 7 and the Thunder win. Oh, the Thunder have a dynasty. There's nobody that's going to beat the West. The West is too good. I don't want to hear it. I don't.
The Thunder have a dynasty? The Thunder have a... Are you kidding me?
They have a free throw merchant, and they have a 7'2" guy who forgot how to play basketball.
Scored 4 points in an elimination game.
He took 2 shots, and after Wemby dunked on his head, he forgot how to play basketball and came out going, "Oh, Wembanyama, I'm scared." He's a big crybaby. All of you fans for anybody other, and listen, I'm not even as diehard of a Knicks fan as my dad or as a bunch of my friends who are all very into the Knicks. I've gotten much more into it. All you people hilarious. Coming up with excuses for everybody says, "Oh, the Knicks thing is a fluke. It's a fluke. It's a fluke." You people are out of your minds, especially the analysts. You were all against the Knicks after they were losing to, "Oh, they're not going to beat anybody." Now they're all hopping on the bandwagon. Now they're all hopping on the train saying, "Oh, the Knicks are the best team." Pick a side and stay on it. Ain't no flip-flopping. We don't want that garbage here. But they do it for clicks.
Question.
"Oh, look at me. The Knicks are so good. Look at me. I can talk about the New York Knicks." You're fake. You're phonies. The only one I give any credit to, even though he was kind of against them, is Stephen A. And that's because Stephen A's been a Knicks fan. He's suffered through it.
Hold on a second. I said this last week. I'm saying it again. There are 2 players who I forgot who this other one was, but there are 2 analysts that thought, I remember, that thought the Knicks were going to be in the finals and actually had a shot at winning. One was DeMarcus Cousins.
Yep. And so was Charles Barkley.
I was going to say Kendrick Perkins.
Charles Barkley said it earlier in the year that he said that the Knicks were going to win the East, and people said that he was crazy.
Well, I'm giving Barkley credit too, but the other one is Kendrick Perkins.
Yeah, Big Perk.
Big Perk.
Perk 30. But yeah, no, it's... listen.
Aside from those 3 players, I feel like not yet. But DeMarcus Cousins, Kendrick Perkins, and Charles Barkley. Aside from those 3 people, everybody else is hopping on the bandwagon. Colin Cowherd saying what he said. I said this a few weeks ago. Colin Cowherd's a cornball, doesn't know ball. He's just a clicks merchant. He says what he says to get clicks and out of people and get reactions from people.
I got something even better. It's not Colin Cowherd. It's Colin Cowherd.
Colin Cowherd, yeah. Colin Cowherd. I like that.
Nick right,
I like that.
Nick wrong. They're all bums. They're all bums. They all say that they're getting paid big money to say things just to drive their ratings up. They flip-flop
That's
like
what's
crazy.
His face? That's like what's his face? That's like
I got another word for it, but I'm not even going to say it because I try to keep not.
That's like what's his name for football? Skip Bayless.
Yeah.
They're like Skip Bayless.
And he's Flip Bayless. All he does is he flip-flops. They just flip. They say, oh, the Knicks stink. They're not that good. And then 2 weeks later, oh, the Knicks are the best team in the NBA. Then they lose one game. Maybe the Knicks really aren't that good. Oh, maybe the Knicks are good. You're full of garbage. You people are literally, I'm going to say, they're meat riding. It's as simple as that. They take an opportunity to ride somebody else's coattails and to hop on and get themselves views and make it look like they know what they're talking about, and they have no clue. When me and Mike, weeks ago, back in March, you could check our old episodes, I didn't really necessarily say the Knicks. I said the Pistons, but I thought that the Knicks could be the team out of the East. But we nailed the San Antonio Spurs in the finals.
You nailed the Spurs in the finals, but I believe I was pretty advocate that I thought the Knicks were going to the championship before the season started.
Well, before the season started, Mike said, and you said, that the three teams that were most likely there were four teams from the East that were most likely. Boston, Cleveland, the Knicks, and the Detroit Pistons. Those were the four. As the season went on, it started to get a little bit more towards Cleveland, Boston, and Detroit because the Knicks had struggled a little bit. But
I never lost faith.
No, I'm not saying it's not that I lost faith either. I'm just saying from what it looked like at that period of time, it looked like Detroit was going to win the East, as in win the number one seed.
And
not the Eastern Conference Final.
I was watching something on YouTube last night, and I was watching, you know who Kenny Beecham is, right?
Yes.
All right, yeah. So I was watching something he said, and he said it's not like the Knicks made the finals and they just were like, oh, they didn't deserve to be there. They didn't just figure out a way to get there. It's not like they beat the only two losses. He said the only two losses that they had were from C.J. McCollum game winners. And he said it's not like, oh, they beat the Sixers in 6 games. They beat the Cavs in 7 games, and they waddled their way to the finals. He said no. They dominated the Eastern Conference in the playoffs.
Yeah.
They didn't just somehow get in the playoffs, play basketball, and somehow
squeak in.
He said no. For everybody saying that the Knicks don't deserve to be in the finals,
they're wrong.
They're wrong.
Of course they are.
Even though I think he did say the Spurs are going to win in 6, which I do not believe, and I hope he's wrong because I want to go see a parade.
Oh, so would I. But here's where we'll go.
But even looking at what happened, I'm not going to lie. When I saw Brunson go down game 1, I thought that was.
I was worried, but then I also said this. Once I saw him coming back, because I knew it wasn't really serious. Otherwise, he wouldn't have been able to walk off, period. He walked. I said in our group chat that I have with a bunch of my friends, I said, everybody breathe. It's the first half. There's a lot of game left. Things will be okay. There's a long series. We're only halfway through the first game of the series. And sure enough, they come back and win. The reason why they come back and win...
Well, hold on a second.
Which we want to get to quick.
Yeah, we will.
Just do your thing.
One thing I'm going to say is I've seen a lot of people on Instagram saying that, oh, the refs favored the Knicks, Brunson's a flopper, this and that. Guess what their profile picture is?
It's probably somebody, a Shai Gilgeous-Alexander picture. Or...
Bingo.
Wow.
Bingo.
Wow.
We have OKC fans calling Jalen Brunson a flopper.
I'm so surprised.
Calling Brunson a flopper when the refs clearly favored the Spurs in Game 1. Wembanyama got his first foul of the game in the third quarter. Josh Hart had 3 in the first.
On top of the fact that he whacked Cat in the face and
it wasn't a foul. It was not a foul. You saw Wembanyama get away with a lot of stuff. And in the third quarter, they're like, oh, Wemby got his first foul. I'm sitting there. How?
Yeah. Trust me, I agree. But
how is Brunson a flopper? Your team is built off of a flopper.
Do you know why? I'll tell you why.
And then
they're bitter, they're salty, they're jealous, they're upset. They're trying to cope with the fact that, the quote you said before, everybody is better than Jalen Brunson until it's time to play Jalen Brunson.
Now the best part about the comment that said Jalen Brunson is a flopper, and they saw that they're using him as somebody with SGA or something, somebody went in the comment section and found a flopper. You know, like the floppers you would find in Fortnite? Somebody found one of them and put an SGA jersey on it.
Good.
And put it right in the But
Stupid.
You look at what Brunson did in game 1 of the finals. He dropped 30 points in a game 1. After somebody hurting his knee, and then you have Luke Cornett landing on his ankle. That wasn't a foul. That should have been one.
No, that wasn't intentional.
No, it wasn't intentional. But
that wasn't intentional.
No, it's not intentional, but you cannot land in the landing zone of somebody when they're doing a layup.
Well, regardless, it's fine. He's at least okay. He's all right.
He's fine. Brunson's going to play tonight. But what I'm saying is, you saw in the first half, people tugging on his jersey and not getting called. No calls. They're saying the refs are favoring the Knicks. You go back and rewatch that game, you will clearly see the refs favor San Antonio.
Oh, no doubt.
And I think it is full of crap.
Well, on top of that, let's go into the analysis before we wrap out the show here of the reason why the Knicks won game 1, and hopefully they can ride this into game 2. You see Karl Anthony Towns lock Victor Wembanyama up, like I said, play physical against Wemby, and he's not close to the same player. He's still very talented.
No, exactly, right? If you go back and listen to what Kat said in the huddle during the timeout, he goes, keep playing defense the way we're playing. The offense, the shots will come around. It happened against Cleveland. It's going to happen now. We have to continue to play defense the way we are playing because it is working.
Yeah. Wembanyama was 2 of 12 when covered by Kat.
And that right there shows how much Kat wants this.
Absolutely.
Not only wants this finals, but he wants to win.
Yeah.
And the fact that they got to the finals on an 11-0 run, 11-2 run to be in fact,
12-2.
Well, they got to the finals winning 11 straight.
Well, yeah, but then you said 11-2. They were 12-2. Because they won 4 games in the first series, 4 in the second, 4 in the third, which is 12.
Oh, wait, yeah.
They did win 11 in a row. Now it's 12 games in a row.
That's what I meant. That's what I meant.
I got what you were saying.
But Kat is not, because a lot of people say, oh, Kat doesn't have the work ethic, doesn't have this and that to play for the Knicks. He doesn't, he's not Kat's doing whatever he can to get himself a ring. And what I think the X factor from game 1 is, and you may disagree, but when Brunson was out for the 5 to 10, maybe 12 minutes, he was out in the locker room, the X factor on the court was Jose Alvarado.
Yeah, he was, but I'm going to say no.
You saw him score 7 points, keep the game close, and you're looking at people like, oh, Josh Hart was terrible game. No, he had 15 rebounds. Mitchell Robinson is playing with a broken pinky, and the one thing that people were saying is going to be an issue is the Knicks getting boards when Robinson is on the court. You saw Josh Hart go and grab almost every rebound.
And timely ones, too. But it's not just that. Again, I thought that the X factor was Kat. Again, he played defense, limits Wembanyama 2 of 12 from the field. Wembanyama only scored 14 points from the actual field. He scored 12 of his points from the free throw line. That was huge. He was 6 of 21 during the game, 2 of 12 when Kat was covering him. Nuts. Jalen Brunson again, another X factor. Fourth quarter, he did not shoot well the entire game until the fourth quarter, where he scores 13 of his 30 points that he had, including a bucket that I stopped myself for and went and made the stank face. I went, ooh. And it was
it his dagger?
No, he hit the right-handed hezzy, drove to the rack, goes up and under, left hand off the glass.
Oh, the jelly?
That was disgusting. But then that bucket at the end, the dagger was nuts too. Then, again, guy you just said, Josh Hart. People knew he was going to be a factor in it. They said he may not score a lot of points, but he's got to be a factor in other ways. Sure as hell he was. 15 rebounds, exactly like you said. Giving the Knicks extra possessions and giving them second chances to score and keep the game close was massive. A big one for the Spurs. De'Aaron Fox. What in the hell was he doing? I know, granted, he was playing with a little bit of a messed up ankle because you could see him limping. He did not look like the explosive De'Aaron Fox we've seen. But in moments where Victor Wembanyama's off the court and Fox has to be the offensive driver, he comes out and scores 7 points in the game. He was awful. Defensively, he was getting roasted.
A player that isn't on here that I think he didn't score much, but in the very few possessions that he had, played very well was Deuce McBride.
Yes, But
he had that crazy step back three
off the glass, which was nuts.
I was going nuts.
But I will say this, though. Not just for the Knicks side, but for the Spurs side. Going back, again, De'Aaron Fox did not have a good game. Champagnie and Harper had great games. I mean, the first half, Champagnie was on fire. And then, again, Mike Brown comes out, changes the defensive structure.
Now,
they shifted everything.
Here's what I'm going to say about the Spurs real quick. I feel like they thought they could go into the series playing the Knicks like they played OKC. If they shut down SGA, the Knicks aren't going to score. But when you look at the Knicks team and look at OKC's team, right? The Knicks have more than one shooter on the team, whereas OKC really didn't. OKC had Chet, and Chet played like absolutely doo-doo dog water in the last game, playing 33 minutes, scoring 4 points. Yeah. That's utterly
embarrassing.
And they're giving him a lot of money too.
Yeah.
And
millions. Hundreds of millions.
But you're looking at it, right? Every person that's on the floor for the Knicks is capable of making a three-pointer when they need to.
Absolutely, except for Mitchell Robinson, but
I meant like starting lineup.
No, I know. Starting lineup, every single one. Cat can, OG can, Bridges can, Hart can, Brunson can.
And then
McBride
on the bench,
can, Shamet can, Clarkson can, all of them can.
Yeah, exactly. Except Mitchell Robinson.
But
when you're looking at it, right, they were playing Brunson like, we have to guard him and make other people take shots. The game will pull away will pull away on its own. And they didn't, because you see Shamet wide open for three. Anunoby wide open for three. I don't know if Bridges hit a three the other night.
No, but OG had a couple string of them too where he needed. We were in our group chat talking, and we're saying we need to step up from OG here, and OG goes and hits 2 threes back to back. That was huge.
Landry Shamet hit a crazy three. Like, bounced up off the thing and went like. Yeah. You're seeing a lot of people saying like, "Oh, Shamet from three used to be a meme."
Not
now
anymore.
Looking at it, Landry Shamet. When you hear Shamet from three, you're putting your hand up in the air, waiting to go bang,
like that. But yeah, no. But again, I think that the biggest reason, other than the actual players themselves, the difference maker was the coaching. And Mike Brown made some great adjustments. This is the reason why they brought him in over Tom Thibodeau, and it's very obvious. The Knicks struggled in the first half, especially with Champagnie with the corner three. They were letting up that weak side corner three the entire first half. They come out in the second half, completely shut that down. I mean, you look at the stats. The defensive rotations. In the first half, Spurs shot 6 of 10 from the weak side corner. 6 of 10. You know what they shot in the second half from the same spot?
0 for 4.
0 for 4. 3-point range. They were taking mostly wide open or semi-contested shots from three. Second half, they were 2 of 19, and almost every single one of them was very heavily contested with the shot clock running down.
Now,
they turned the ball over 5 times on 15 possessions in the fourth.
Here's what I'm going to say. The best part about this Knicks Finals run is that the entire city of New York
is on their back. And it should be.
The entire city of New York is united because, let's be real, ain't nobody a damn Nets fan.
Well, I was going to say this. I said this discussion the other night.
I was talking to my barber about that yesterday. I said the best part about it is that everybody in New York is united as one. And he goes, ain't nobody a damn Nets fan.
Well, they're originally from New Jersey. But regardless, Rangers and Islanders have their split. Mets and Yankees have their split. The Giants and Jets have their split. In New York, it's Knicks or nobody. So that's what I will say on that.
Get a Brunson, egg, and cheese.
Get a Brunson, egg, and cheese and $30 on Pump 3. But that is how we will officially close the show out. We'll take a look and see if there's anything breaking news. But what we will say is the Knicks obviously will have game 2 tonight. Let's go Knicks.
Let's go Knicks.
We shall see how that goes. Knicks in 5, hopefully, maybe 4. We will figure that all out.
I want 4.
Well, we want 4, but I don't want to jinx anything. Let's see if there's any other news before we officially wrap it up. It's not looking like I see anything crazy yet. Any news? Any signings? I know the World Cup is coming up in the next couple weeks, and we're going to try and bring Mike on for the UFC White House card, which will be next weekend as well. That should be interesting.
That's next weekend?
Yeah, June 11th. Or sorry, June 14th. That's coming up.
Oh.
But yeah, no. So it doesn't look like we have any breaking news. So Julian, you could cue us out. Thank you guys so much for tuning into episode 46 of the Straight Outta Stratford podcast. I am Zach.
I am Julian.
And we will see you guys next week.